No, dude, this is expensive.
No, we'll set it right here. No one's gonna take anything. Want me to put it in my car?
I guess put it in your car.
Or just set it right, like literally, no one's gonna touch this, I promise you. It'll be right here. No one's
Alright, this is on video. If someone takes that. Fuck. Great. God damn, I'm trying to film an intro. God. Boys and girls, how's it going? I'm here with my friend Johnny, and we're going on a hunt for Kevin. I'm over here at New England Reptile. As you guys can see, there's a trunk full of bread, just normal shit you see every day.
It's pig feed.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So we gotta find Kevin, and last we knew, Kevin is doing something with his bioterrorist work of spreading seed to protect animals, which Kevin loves. So Kevin's whole entire property is dedicated to animals, besides his whole entire facility. So half the time when I try to find Kevin, I either find him in the woods or his turtle spot, saving his wood turtles.
Lucky for us, it's a beautiful day over here in New England, 47 degrees.
It's mushy.
It is mushy.
Frogs, in the front there's actually... No, I'm just explaining your pools. We found you, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't want any bullfrogs back here. I have bullfrogs up front.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, the melanistic bullfrogs up front.
Oh, well, that's a green frog. Different than a bullfrog. Vernal, and been opening it up because this vernal's been overgrowing. And then where you disturb it, you can plant like milkweed.
Is this some of your bioterrorist work?
Oh, I'm such a bioterrorist.
Oh, you're putting milkweed to get your caterpillars back, the monarchs.
Everywhere I put milkweed.
When I came to do a video with New England Reptile, this was not what I envisioned.
You're not a country boy?
You should have told me. I brought my Vans today, man. Wrong shoe wear, wrong shoe wear.
Flower girl.
I'm a bee.
This isn't what I had in mind. I thought we were gonna do a nice flower.
I love flowers. I love meadows. This is like the real...
Yeah, then you have you who takes money out of your pocket, does your bioterrorist work to save species like wood turtles, the Blandings turtles.
Go over the wood turtle spot. I've been doing a lot of work there, so it's...
Yeah, we'll film going with you. We'll go with you.
Yeah.
You ready to go for a ride in Kevin's Ferrari?
Oh man, I've been waiting. That's honestly the whole reason I'm here. I just wanted to see the Ferrari. I know it exists, obviously.
It's a white free Wi-Fi van.
Free.
There's candy in there.
Maturing in the reptile hobby is not posting on Facebook groups.
Yep.
Whoa, my God. I almost died.
We almost got fucked at the same time.
Look at this, Johnny. That windstorm?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's like a perfect place for like raptors and bobcat, just to go right up there.
All your hawks.
Yeah.
You have red. Well, not
that's
when
the
you
other place. Well, we'll know in the spring. I went out there. A lot of it looked dead.
Now, are we going to see any of the wood turtles in the water here sleeping?
They're under this bank. This is one of them. So they go up and down the stream system. And last year I had two. I got a wood turtle right here.
It's alive? So
Yep.
come down here.
Yep. See it?
Oh yeah, they're there.
It's got a little sticker.
Yeah.
I just put a little sticker on it.
Okay, record.
Step right here. Like, see, this is a stick you can hold weight with your foot. All right. Now, keep going. I'm not gonna let you fall. Keep going.
I'm scared,
go ahead, you're
John.
good. Put all your weight and dunk my phone in the water. Go ahead. You can put my phone right in the water.
I can't read.
Straighten your arms
John
out.
is strong as hell,
This is
dude.
as straight as it
No,
gets.
Go ahead.
I'm so.
He's a pussy.
Go ahead.
Don't even bother.
Go ahead. I got you. I'm not gonna let you fall.
I don't have good footing.
I promise you, you're not gonna fall.
Yeah, he'll grab you and throw you on the other side.
Here, hold on. I'll hold this hand and your foot. Go ahead. Dunk it under the water.
You can't see anything.
You can't do it.
Yeah, I think we got some great footage there.
I got the best footage.
Where's he at? Where did he? Oh, he's gone deeper. He's gone deeper. Right? So he's right there. You see him? See the back of the shell?
Yeah.
Here. So. Okay. give me your phone so I can put it.
Yeah, you can put it straight in the water.
I'm gonna go upside down.
Yeah.
This is a way more sensible idea than what you were doing.
So hopefully, I should be telling you that.
See that bench, Kevin?
No, the bench is destroyed. No,
Incredible.
I'll chainsaw out a bench. Kind of wood turtle restoration plan, and I just manage the habitat, and I do community outreach. So I communicate with all the people that live in the environment and get them to see maybe what the turtles are about, what the turtles need, and I get them to actually like the turtles. We name the turtles, we do all the different stuff. So now we have these 3 communities that are aware of the turtles. They kind of look out for them, make sure they don't run them over, and they also allow me to come here and manage the properties and do a lot of work. There's a lot of chainsaw and brush clearing, and it's taking years and years and years. But most important thing, ectotherms, they need sun. These turtles were appearing on the roads for years. Before I zeroed in on this area, I would see the turtles on the roads dead. And I was going, wow, they're coming from this little stream, but I don't even know how to navigate the stream because it was nothing but just grown up the whole way. So eventually I keyed in on one area, and the area looked great, which is actually right here. But this was all forest and bushes. Went and talked to the people. They allowed me to do some work.
Then you have your neighbors who tell you that they're there.
Everything. Oh yeah, they're great. But so they let me start doing this, and as I started improving the environment, and then I put out time-lapse cameras, and I'd watch once they cleared an area and gave good basking. All of a sudden I started noticing all the turtles, and then I started opening up areas, clearing areas. But the most important thing, turtle conservation. If you're a turtle, think about being the turtle, think about being in the water, and during nesting season, what are they looking for? They're looking for clear horizons. They'll go through all of this area looking for breaks. They're looking for breaks in the canopy and areas of sunlight where they will actually go to investigate and look for potential nesting. I learned this, so I've been clearing all these different areas along the streams, and what's happened, I don't see dead ones anymore on the roads. I have not seen a dead one for 6 years. We had one about 3 years ago that got whacked by a car, but she's alive. Fishing Game has a transmitter on her. And this is an incredible success story.
And you also do your Head Start program?
Well, that's blandings. We do blandings. So down in Massachusetts, there's I'm part of a program where they do head starting, and the blandings, they put the blandings in the schools. So each school can have like 5 blandings, so that way we don't have any like disease vectors. But it's a great education tool. So the biology teachers can teach this stuff, the importance, and obviously conservation. And we're actually they're getting the blandings turtles in a 9-month period to the size of a 6 to 8-year-old blandings turtle. And then those animals, we then put them back out there. We also work on the habitat. We do a lot of nesting protection. We track our females, and that's a pretty significant population.
Also, let's not forget about the eastern box turtles that you and your friend found.
Yeah, so that's okay. So we're tracking. That area historically had eastern box turtles, and this past year we were lucky to locate a female. They're impossible. They're impossible to actually go and just start canvassing area unless it has a high density. So even with the transmitter on this female, she was so hard to find. Very rarely would she come out. She only likes temperatures like in the 80s, and anything else too hot or whatever. After it rains, that's a good time too. But generally they're spending a lot of her time just in areas. So look at something like this. These are brush piles, and brush piles are excellent. So the wood turtles, a lot of the juvenile wood turtles will come out and they will go under this and they'll bask. So if we go over here,
They also don't like brambles.
yeah. Oh, I try to give I try to create alleys, open alleys, but they will locate right in here. Once they get hot enough, they'll go in here and kind of nestle under the leaves, and they'll sit like that for days.
Let's not forget, this is not all one day's work that you do.
Oh my God, this is
multiple hours of your own time.
This is hundreds of hours.
Yeah, your own time, fuel. Also, these little flower pots are hide areas for them too. They love to like nestle up in those things and hide.
Yeah. Believe it or not, we found that by mistake. We were over here, so one of my friends really helps me incredibly on this thing. And we were here one day doing something, and found a wood turtle in one of the pots, just sleeping. So we realized that they like it, so we started using those. So this is like nesting mound.
You also go around when it's nesting season. When you see a dug up nest, you dig, see if there's eggs, and you put screen over the top of it and mark it.
Yep. So this is a power line. This is a transmission line. They just did a transmission line cut, but I come in here. I've been chainsawing down these big trees. So what this did was we had this big wall of canopy, but if you turn around, over there is where the stream is. So we want to attract them out to a safe place. I get them away from the roads.
But also you're also allowed with permission to cut the trees down.
Oh yeah, I have total permission. Yeah, it's so I create alternative areas. Look, milkweed that I had sprinkled this yesterday. So I'm gonna try to convert this a bit into meadow.
This used to be a bog, right?
This is still.
Where's the bog? The bog's like up
yeah,
more.
It's still boggy and everything, but they came through and this easement. They come through. So I think transmission line about 100 foot to each side, and they'll come through here and just annihilate everything, which is awesome. I'm so excited. It's been 12 years.
I have a question that I'm thinking, because as you know, I always pick outside your brain with stuff. Does the electrical frequency and wavelengths affect anything with animals?
Obviously, so you have magnetic flux lines because you have electrical current, massive,
but now would that mess
high
with
voltage.
would that mess
I
with
don't
your
think so.
butterflies?
I don't think it messes with anything. No. We can have all our conspiracy theories. I mean, I guess living near it, but I'll show you over here.
These guys turn off and on like hibernation mode, like when it gets warm. When it gets warm.
So okay, what we don't usually see is the wood turtles, because everything once they're submerged, and even though it could be 70 degrees up here, it doesn't necessarily affect them too much because they're already cold and they're already in the torpid
So it's not
state.
like frogs if they came out when it was cold and they'd be messed
It's
up.
gonna take a little while. I watched one last year when it was in the 70s for 2 weeks. It just sat on the bottom. So here's a nesting area.
You'll find like fresh dig outs.
Yeah,
and then
let's see. So
then you put the
this,
screen
we'll
on top.
go to the next one.
This is soft.
Yeah, they love that. I put cameras on them, and I watched the female
Kevin,
nesting.
did you strategically place that boulder there to interfere with people?
No. I like that boulder though. Watched one female, she laid her eggs, and within 20 minutes her nest was predated by a skunk. It's, here you go, coyote. We also have bobcat here, but that's coyote.
Coyote scat.
Yeah. The quads. The people here that quad are pretty good. I talk to them, and they'll respect nesting areas. So this is a really good nest bank right here. If you look a little bit, you'll probably find some hatched eggs.
Hey, is that a vernal pool we've never seen before, or is that just water laying from?
Yeah, so we have sundew plants in there. That's like a boggy area. And here you go.
There's an eggshell.
So that's a successfully hatched wood turtle. That's a hatched egg. That's not a predated egg. So that was good. So keeping them as close as possible to the water for nesting. And this area, I mean, all the work that I did.
Well, you say this is close. Most people don't realize this is almost like literally probably a third of a mile away.
Well, so do you know that baby wood turtles, they did a study on them, and they found that things even like a chipmunk, or probably red squirrel and stuff, will
Eat them.
eat a lot of them.
Wow.
So what I do with all this stuff, my job is to come in here and clean. So I'll create like a brush pile over here. So when wood turtles nest, generally I don't find wood turtles coming out of the body of water and nesting in the morning. What they do, they're usually most nesting, just like blandings, later in the day. And if the wood turtle doesn't get what it needs, it will stay in that area. It won't even necessarily go back in the water, but they'll go hide under
Brush
and stuff like that. And so I've watched them as they abandon their nesting because they keep doing test hole. Then they'll go off to a safe place, and then in the morning by around 8:30 they successfully nest.
Now, I've been here before with you to the turtle spot, and there's a frequent snapping turtle, like common snapper.
Yep.
Big, large guy.
Yeah.
Do you think they predate on the little baby wood turtles?
If they can get a little baby wood turtle, no problem. If they can.
Even being an adult?
Yeah, they're. I mean,
Because they're omnivorous when they
yeah. You look at my snapping turtles eating blueberries and
apples,
strawberries.
pears.
So this area is real critical. This past year was really tough. So there was some of the one of the nests I found, they had some had hatched, and then the remaining eggs had maggots in them. And we had a really dry summer that was tough. But at one point I had 3 females nesting right here at the same time. And I put up my little bit of a barricade to let my quad people know, just don't ride at a certain time. And they're great. I talk to them, so as long as you treat them with like
Respect.
what you do is you create a little bit of empathy. You're not like, hey, you can't. I don't do any of that. It's like, hey, can you guys just do me a favor, because this is like a critical area in there. So I'll put like a camera right here. I guess you're going all in on the wood turtle thing, because this is a wood turtle thing. So, biggest problem for wood turtles, habitat destruction. Human encroachment, fragmentation of areas. Roads are a killer. They want fields, they want open spaces. So this is now an open space. I'm going to populate this with wildflower seed. I'm going to put huckleberry, blueberry, raspberry, alfalfa, clover, wildflowers. It's already got sweet fern and all that stuff, but I want to do more brushy type stuff, forage, and also attract more insects like grasshoppers and all this stuff. It's really critical.
This is also all native species that are here.
Oh, I have northeast wildflower mix and stuff like that, but this transmission line goes a ways, and this is all wood turtle thing. I know all the movements of the wood turtles, like the normal flows and stuff like that. It's taken me years to understand this. But this is like something I'm so dedicated to, because wood turtles are awesome. And this isn't about I don't keep wood turtles. My wood turtles are outside. They live in the wild. And I've never encountered a poacher in this whole area, nor have my neighbors. So people will always go, oh, it's poaching, it's this and that. No, if the habitat's gone and you destroy the area, there's no chance for the turtles.
And you've done this so long that you can tell me each individual wood turtle what.
Oh my God!
You can tell me what number.
I keep notes on them. Oh, this is this female. I call her 27, and she likes to nest over here, but she'll spend a lot of her summer over here. Stuff. And so one thing that's really important: hunters and wildlife coexist generally. So hunters want to preserve tracts of property so they can hunt like a deer or whatever. Well, that also is a place where the wood turtles and the box turtles and all the different stuff can live. So hunters don't want condominiums, nor do conservationists or wildlife freaks like me. So I think those things have to go hand in hand, and you cannot shun hunters, especially really like responsible hunters. I mean, let's think about it. You know, a deer lives a way better life than a cow.
Also, have you asked ever credit for what you're doing, or who funds it?
This is all me. I pay for all the wildflowers. Hundreds of hours out here.
Well, why do you do it?
Because I want them to be here.
Because
they deserve to be here.
And
more than I do.
My many years of you knowing it, have I not, like the years of me knowing you and coming up here and frequenting with you, you've like within the past 2 years, you have shown me your spots just to show your passion, because no one has actually showed expression to being happy at what you do. So like no one showed interest. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So Johnny last year was out there. We have areas where the Blandings turtles nest, and this is part of our study site. So I've gotten into like some herbicides, because we get covered with brambles, very woody stemmed plants that are contrary to these turtles to want to use these areas to nest. So we're spraying glyphosate,
which is a sugar blocker.
To the roots. Glyphosate.
It's not going to be an endangerment for any of the animals.
So it stops the plant from uptaking like the nutrients and sugars and stuff like that in the roots. But
hopefully it dies off by winter. But what on one specific?
Otherwise, we're out there digging it all up.
One specific thing. What was the day that you wanted to do this and decided that we were going to do this? What was it?
My birthday?
Correct. That's what we spent your birthday for. Spent 4 hours spraying mounds of dirt for his birthday. That's what Kevin wanted to do.
Yeah, that's it. But one thing is, like, a lot of people that keep reptiles and reptile breeders and all this different stuff like that, sadly, like the state agencies and all that, or, you know, anti-pet or conservation, they think that we're actually bad. And I put a huge amount of effort to conservation. It's like literally my hobby. I think about it all the time.
It's a passion, not a hobby.
It's whatever it is. It's whatever. But it's a thing, like, I can, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm stressed out, I start dreaming, like, if I plant all these seeds and then there's milkweed coming out, because I'm a monarch butterfly freak. And I want all this stuff to be here. I don't like people. This is a pretty interesting area. It's taken me years and years and years to understand wood turtles, but I can say right now I feel pretty confident I understand some of the basic aspects that many people wouldn't understand. And here I'm going to ask a question. Why do wood turtles have to have streams to live in? Why don't wood turtles live in ponds? Why? Well, I mean, they might use a pond as a transition or bogs, but why do they actually need streams to live? They don't live in lakes, but why is that? There's an answer, and it took me a little while to solve this. I didn't even know there was in a question, but then I finally realized it.
I'm gonna take a guess. Is it temperature dependent?
Okay, so kind of. All right, so
that's just a wild guess.
So we should be saying, put it in your comments, but I'm going to tell you guys. So a lot of people actually don't realize this. Wood turtles. So if you watch the behaviors of wood turtles are constantly, they're vying for, like, males will chase away other males, males will dominate other males, males will try to breed young females, try to breed young males. So they're underwater, and you're watching them running around, and I'm a young wood turtle about this big, and all of a sudden this big wood turtle comes over, jumps on me, clamps onto it. That little turtle, if it's living in a pond or a bog, there's no oxygen. The oxygen concentration in the water is so low because water, like 82 degrees and above, has very low oxygen carrying capacity. Cold water, so think trout and salmon, cold water can hold a lot of oxygen, warm water doesn't. So fast moving streams, shallow streams, cold streams, they have a lot of movement, they degas CO2, they pick up oxygen, and the shallower water too. But so that turtle's on, like, that young female or young male, he'll ride her around. If that turtle cannot come up to get air, like a painted turtle, it will suffocate. But wood turtles, they breathe through the blood vessels in their mouth and in their butt.
What?
They do. They literally, so they're pulling. That's why that wood turtle, you won't see that come up and breathe.
Is it like the same process of how a hellbender breathes through the sides of its?
They breathe through the skin vessels too. Yeah. So the wood turtle's going to breathe through its skin. So they're obviously they're slowed down. So they're not eating anymore. So their metabolism is as slow as possible. But there really is no need for respiration. So if I watch these wood turtles, when it's warm out here and they're still underwater, and it's like you don't even come up to breathe, because they're getting enough oxygen content. So if that same wood turtle was in a pan of water and there's not much oxygen in there, he'll just sit there and ride around and drown the other one. He'll suffocate it. And so that is why wood turtles live in this kind of system. Oh, I recognize you. I have wood turtles that they're like, they already know me.
Like, so when you'll come down, you'll see them, but if, like, you bring me or someone else with me down, they'll actually scurry away.
They might, yeah. So it's just, generally I'm pretty passive about the wood turtles, so I see them, I don't really do anything. So I look at them, but I spend most of my time managing the habitat.
Unless you see something injured with them, or like a
oh yeah, but it's generally not. We did have one that was found. My friend John found it last winter. It was out on a sunny bank during the winter. It wasn't a good time, so he knew something was wrong. She was, actually he was up in the leaves basking, and John went over and checked it out. And that turtle's butt there was so many leeches in there. So all these leeches found an opportunity. They attacked this guy and he was dying. So John pulled off all the leeches best he could and then just put it back. But generally we don't see too many problems. Turtles, I think largely wood turtles and much of their range are vanishing, but I have a working model, and this is not in some place where there's no houses, there's no roads. There's a lot of houses, there's a lot of roads, but we have this center area. So what I do, I manage the habitat, and the more effort I put into giving the animals basking and forage and nesting, more likely it is I'm gonna hold the animals in that area. And that's my objective. And I would say over 12 years of studying these, I used to always watch my wood turtles die on the road. I'd be like heartbroken because I'm like, oh my God, the turtle, I knew that turtle and it's dead. I never see him on the road now because a lot of those turtles have died off, but all the new young ones have adapted to this situation. And I just had a huge improvement with this transmission cut. So I'm gonna go and seed a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna seed this throughout the winter. So we have winter stratification of seeds and the wildflowers. So in the spring, these things will germinate sooner. They'll have a better start. And I wanna convert this as much as possible.
And also, since you've been doing this, have you seen an increase in your population of the wood turtles?
Oh, the wood turtle population is going way up.
Which is good.
It is so noticeable now. I'm seeing all sorts of young wood turtles. So if you're actually watching a wood turtle population and you see adults, old adults, you know, these things get 75 years, whatever, and you don't see young animals of all different stages, that's a problem. And this population has all different stages of wood turtles. It might take wood turtle 10 years to mature. And I mean, or even longer, it can be 20 years because their growth is so slow. But we've learned in the blandings, 9 months, you can get a blandings through the Head Start program, 9 months to a 6 to 8 year old blandings turtle. Like what our wild blandings, we study those, and the growth is so slow.
Does that have to do with the association with like food?
So it's food and heat. And I will say one thing, ZooMed's been really helpful. They've donated a bunch of their product, which is awesome, for this program, the head starting. But I think every state should have these kind of things. So head starting programs for these turtles. So the state, the biologists, all that fish and game, you know, more and more of this stuff needs to happen. Get it into the schools. It's a great learning tool. Trains kids about, you know, the basic requirements of these animals. It encourages conservation and gets their brain thinking, and maybe makes the next conservationist that's going to make a difference, because time's running out. Every day there's more and more of us and there's less of this.
Correct.
I'm going to go spread some seeds. Oh, I have a bunch more.
But what were we doing here?
I'm doing winter stratification of seeds, wildflower. So this is actually annual wildflower, and that's clover too. Here's some alfalfa.
And how much is that seed about?
This is not all of it, but it's $400 for. There's more. It's and then there's lots of milkweed. You guys are gonna go around like flower trout. The trick is any area where you see it's like disturbed and dug up from the giant excavators, you want to kind of get some of the seed right there, because that's where it's likely gonna maybe get a little bit under, and in the spring it will all come up, because within 2 years you could really convert this to a serious looking thing. I got a bunch of blueberry seeds and raspberry seeds and huckleberry and all that stuff too, but you just have to do a bit at a time.
Yeah, do it again. No, do it again. Do it again. Come on, come on.
Do it again. Go back.
And this right here, this is where all the turtles live, right here. And they go under there and they hide, and they make more turtles.
Actually, that is for turtles. Actually, for turtles and rabbits and all that stuff. But that's protective outfit, of course, while chainsawing them to chop them up.
Right, like that's not safe.
I was gonna try to show you something. Come here. So you want to think like a turtle. This is where I learned about this stuff. Oh, I've stripped a lot of the cover here to create openings, and I imagine a turtle coming up. Look at this. This water is this is ideal for turtles. So they come up here, and I turn around, and what do you see? Besides Kelly.
Big path.
You see that open?
Yep.
That is what it is. These animals are looking for openings. So if it's a new housing development and they're building houses because they've just chopped down all the trees, the turtles might go, if there's turtles around, will go there to try to nest and get themselves into trouble. Housing development here. Get all the turtles to where it's safe. And it's working. but you have to think like a turtle. And I think one thing is very, very important. When you keep a lot of reptiles and you're really into reptiles and that's your passion, so at nighttime, you're dreaming about these things, you're thinking about these things, you're thinking how I can keep my animals better, think about breeding them, but you learn to start thinking about the animals and what their needs are. And the trick is, don't think of the animal the way you want it to be, think of it how it is and what it needs. And that is one key thing for me. So I think, what does a turtle need? And I try to think, what would attract it? And when I came up with this idea, this is one of the best things I ever figured it out. It seems kind of simple, but a lot of people don't realize it. But this is what they need. And now I got these animals, and follow. So a lot of opening. So I give them cover, but a lot of opening. If I just have this all shrubs and stuff like that, it's not nearly as lucrative for their activity.
God damn it, Johnny, we're filming.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, I like rabbits and every other thing. But so right here we have nesting options. I still have to remove these pines right there. But these are in full southern exposure. So this could be quite, I gotta cut those down. And, so this exposure, the sun, east, you know, west, it's just, it's lovely. And this right here attracts the turtles. Sand.
Nice soft.
Sandy. And you got to strip it of all the thorns, all the briar, all the invasives, and I open it up and you can put in, you know, you could have milkweed and wildflowers and all that kind of stuff, but they do not like briars one bit. And so we've cleaned all this. It was usually like this. It was all very, very dense.
A lot of brush.
So much work cleaning all the stuff, but once you do it and you've kept it clear for a couple years, it's great. And then you can go and put the kind of plants, the natives and stuff like that that are good, and put them there. And then I just think the turtles coming out here, and now, you know, I want to provide a lot of habitat for them. So I'm improving the habitat with all the seeding and all the structure and all that. So it's really good. They see these big long openings, they'll see like into the distance, and if you have that little thing, they'll just keep following that opening. Yeah. And then I just way over there, they come from way over there in the housing development, they come out of the stream, and I create like this gully, and I try to bring them all the way out to here. I got one set of trees, we could easily go and nuke those trees.
Kevin, so right over there?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, here we go. It's a tree. Oops. There we go. This is much better. You're just full.
Beautiful.
That was horrible.
You know, getting the turtles over to here. This is on the edge of another housing development. So this is not a good place to nest, but they have been forced to nest in areas like this. So what I've been doing, I have more control over here of the environment. So what I do is turtles are here, and then I look. Come here, right here. This is a line of sight. So they will be attracted to that. So they'll be walking along here and then they'll see this. Yeah. Yes. I still got to probably thin some of those birch trees to make that little opening, but it used to be a whole wall. But this brings them.
Now there's a straight shot to the stream.
This is a real nice area. This is a little low, so this has like sundew plants. So it has some bog and mosses, but there are some pretty cool sundew plants in here. I don't know what these are, but I've seen the wood turtles eating these little fungi. I think any type of habitat management that encourages things like slugs and worms, that's all great. You can't see it right now, but this area is all sundews. Line of sight. Line of sight, line of sight. So a couple, I see a couple over here.
We're gonna have to cut down Johnny to make that line of sight better.
Uh-huh. He's too busy playing on social media.
Oh
I'm
my
trying to find
God,
my
Johnny,
phone.
come on, get off of the computer.
Okay, you really?
Yes.
I don't like taking down birch trees. So, whenever possible, I like to top my trees real high for the woodpeckers. For the bigger trees, if I can get it up here, I will. Because woodpeckers, like over here, that's not because I'm lazy. I do that on purpose because that's what we